consciousness is part of the universe, but it's not giving it the order that we give it. We see at a certain spectrum of light. There's, bees see at another spectrum of light. We are the world we behold, the world that appears to us is the world that our senses allow us to see. When I was doing this research on plant intelligence, they have 20 senses. We only have 5. They're picking up magnetic fields. They're picking up pH. They're picking up nitrogen levels. They have all.
How do we know all this?
There are researchers working on it. There's a group of botanists who call themselves plant neurobiologists, knowing full well there are no neurons in plants. They're kind of trolling more conventional botanists, and they're doing these cool experiments with plants. A couple examples of some of these amazing things plants can do. They can hear. So if you play a recording of a caterpillar munching on leaves, they'll react and they'll send chemicals into their leaves to make them taste bad or be toxic.
Yeah.
They can see. There are vines that change the shape of their leaves depending on the plant they're twining up in order to be hidden. How do they see the shape and to imitate it? We don't know. Plants will go toward a pipe with water in it because they can hear the water, even though it's totally dry, and they'll send their roots down to it.
They can hear the water?
They can hear, yeah. There's this plant neurobiologist showed me this a couple of videos he'd made. I actually just posted them on my website. He showed that a corn plant's roots can navigate a maze to get to fertilizer. So you put a little fertilizer in a corner, and the root will find the most direct route to the nitrogen.
There was a plumbing problem that I had in my house in California, and the plumber couldn't figure out what was wrong. It was like the pipes were stuck, and what had happened was in the backyard, one of the trees, the roots had gotten
penetrated
into the pipe and formed like this tree. I mean, it was huge. It looked like, when I pulled it out, I put it up on my Instagram. See if you can find it. Yeah. It looked like a muskrat. I mean, it was like dense with roots, and it was thick. It was like 3 feet long. It was
wow.
That's it. That was in my pipe.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. What kind of tree was it?
I don't know. I think it was an oak tree, because there was oak trees, excuse me, in the backyard where they dug up.
That's wild.
But look how thick it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it went through a tiny little crack.
Yeah.
It probably forced the crack open and then went in there and just really grew out.
Yeah, well, it had a source of water.
Yeah, but it's just kind of bananas that somehow or another it figured out that there was water in that pipe.
We underestimate plants basically because we can't see their behaviors. And going to that point about scale, they operate at a time scale that seems very slow to us, so we don't notice. But if you use time-lapse photography, you see what they're up to, and it's pretty amazing. Another interesting video that this guy showed me, his name is Stefano Mancuso. He's an Italian scientist, botanist, is how bean plants find a pole to grow up. And so he grows these beans, and he has a metal pole on a dolly. And, I always assumed they made this pattern. Darwin called it circumnutation. That, they go through this spiral. And I always assumed they just kind of did this till they hit something. No, they know where the pole is. And you watch this thing, and it's going in circles, but it's reaching and reaching. It looks like a fly fisherman, casting. And it finally gets to the pole. And so how does it know where the pole is in space? Well, one theory is that every time the cells divide, there's a little sound that's produced, and that maybe they're using echolocation like a bat, kind of bouncing it off of the pole, and that's how they know where they are in space. We still don't understand. I know, some amazing things. And also, you can teach a plant a certain behavior, and it will remember for 28 days. So they do this thing with sensitive plants. You may have seen them in Hawaii, actually. It's a tropical plant. When you touch it, the leaves collapse to keep from being eaten. It's called Mimosa pudica. And normally if you shake it, it'll also do this. And if you shake it repeatedly, it learns to ignore that stimulus, and it will remember 28 days, and it won't react when you do it. To give you some comparison, fruit flies can only remember stuff for 24 hours, and then they start over again. So another fact about plants, I got really deep into this because I was trying to see, these guys say plants are conscious.
Yeah.
They have some kind of basic form of consciousness. Here's another one. The anesthetics that we use to put us out for surgery put plants out. So a Venus flytrap, if you give it an anesthetic, will not react when the bug comes across it. Now, that is like really interesting because it suggests they have two modes of being, right? Sort of like, unconscious and conscious
Yeah.
or aware. So Stefano believes that they're conscious. Now, this raises interesting ethical issues, right? If plants are conscious, do they feel pain? And that I was really a little worried about that. What if that beautiful smell of a freshly mown lawn is actually the chemical equivalent of a scream? Yeah. But Stefano said he doesn't think they feel pain.
Why does he think that?
He said that pain would not be adaptive for a creature that can't run away.
Well, if that's the case, then why do they produce